All right, so today we're going to really get into organization and storage.
Yeah.
But not just, your typical bins and shelves.
Right.
We're talking about solutions that are stylish, smart.
Yeah.
Maybe even a little bit surprising.
I like that.
We've got a ton of real-world product examples to kind of dig through today.
Awesome.
And the goal is help you discover some really creative ways to tidy up your life,
I love it.
no matter what it is you're trying to organize.
Yeah, it's interesting. Storage, it's become such an extension of personal style.
They really have.
It's not about hiding things away anymore.
Right.
It's about showcasing, your passions.
Absolutely.
Creating a space that reflects you.
Yeah, and so we've been doing a lot of exploring on TEMU.
Okay.
And I've got to say that the variety of storage options
It's amazing.
is really mind-blowing.
It is.
But amidst all those products, some trends definitely jumped out at us.
Definitely, yeah. One of the biggest ones, I think, is this whole boho chic aesthetic.
Oh.
We're seeing lots of woven baskets,
Yeah.
macrame wall hangings,
Yeah.
those little plush toy nets,
Yeah,
all with that girthy bohemian vibe.
it's true. Yeah, it's like bringing a little bit of artistry into your organizing, right?
It is.
It's not just functional.
Yeah.
It's a statement.
Totally. And I think it speaks to, this larger shift towards, simpler living, connecting with nature, embracing that more relaxed aesthetic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Less is more.
Yeah, and here's where it gets really interesting for me.
Okay.
We also found a ton of products geared towards craft organization.
Oh, yeah.
Like really specialized storage for everything from diamond painting to yarn
Wow.
to sewing supplies.
That makes sense, though, when you think about how popular
Yeah.
DIY hobbies are these days.
Right.
People are taking pride in their crafting. They want their storage to reflect that passion,
It's true.
and having a dedicated space can really boost your creativity and
yes.
productivity. It's like setting up your own little creative haven.
Exactly.
Another trend that caught my eye was this resurgence of vintage-inspired storage.
Oh, interesting.
We saw things like antique book-shaped boxes
Uh-huh.
and this really cool cylinder box with an old-fashioned lock.
I love that. Isn't that interesting?
It is.
This growing appreciation for items with history, pieces
Yeah.
that add character, touch of nostalgia,
Mhm.
and they appeal to people who want their homes to reflect their unique style.
Right. It's not just about hiding things away.
Right.
It's about curating a collection.
Yes.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit.
Okay.
We wanted to highlight a few standout products that really kind of piqued our interest.
All right.
And I've got to start with this elegant two-tier vinyl record player table.
Okay.
It's like a fortress for your vinyl.
I love that. Well, this definitely speaks to, I think, the resurgence of vinyl as a format. People are craving that warmer, more analog listening experience.
Right.
And they want to showcase their record collection as part of their interior design.
Absolutely.
And of course, proper storage is essential for protecting those records.
It's funny. We also came across a 50-piece sticker set,
Okay.
which got me thinking about the psychology of collecting.
Interesting.
Why are we so drawn to those limited edition items?
Yeah.
What is the appeal of completing a set,
That's a great question.
right?
Collecting taps into our desire for completion,
Okay.
for possessing something unique or rare.
Mm-hmm.
It can be a way to connect with others,
Wow.
express your individuality,
Sure.
or potentially even build a collection that holds value
That's a good point.
over time.
Speaking of valuing our possessions,
Okay.
we also found this premium wooden sock darning tool,
Really?
which I have to admit made me chuckle a bit.
Sock darning.
Sock darning making a comeback.
There is a resurgence of interest in these traditional crafts,
Interesting.
like darning and mending.
Oh, okay.
It's part of this broader trend towards sustainability,
Right.
reducing waste, embracing a more mindful approach to consumption.
It's true.
Instead of discarding something at the first sign of wear and tear,
Yeah.
people are learning to repair and reuse,
I like that.
extending the life of their belongings.
It's that whole make, do, and mend philosophy, right?
It is.
There's something satisfying about giving new life to old things.
Absolutely, and it goes beyond just socks.
Okay.
We're seeing this revival of mending clothes, upcycling furniture,
Right.
embracing a more DIY approach to life,
Yeah.
resourcefulness, creativity, lessening our environmental impact.
Yeah. It's really interesting.
It's fascinating how these seemingly simple storage solutions connect to these larger societal trends.
Oh, yeah. It's not just about tidying up, is it?
Not at all. It's a reflection of our values, how we choose to live. Like,
Right.
let's take the psychology of storage, for example.
Okay.
It's not simply about finding a place to put your things.
Right.
It's about creating order out of chaos.
Uh-huh.
And that has a huge impact on our mental well-being.
So you're saying organizing our physical space can actually help us feel more organized mentally.
Precisely. When our surroundings are cluttered, it can lead to stress, overwhelm, even anxiety. But when we create order in our physical space, it can bring a sense of calm control and clarity to our minds as well.
Yeah, I can definitely relate to that. There's something so satisfying about decluttering a space,
Right?
like a weight's been lifted off your shoulders.
Totally. And it goes beyond just that feeling of satisfaction.
Right.
Studies have shown that a well-organized environment can improve focus, boost productivity, and even enhance creativity.
Wow.
It's about creating a space that supports your mental and emotional well-being.
So it's like setting the stage for success, right?
Exactly.
If you're surrounded by chaos, it's harder to focus and get things done.
It is.
But a clean, organized space,
Yeah.
you're much more likely to feel motivated and inspired.
Absolutely. And this ties into the sustainability angle as well.
Yeah.
The minimalist and decluttering movements aren't just about aesthetics. They're about consuming less, reducing waste, living more intentionally.
Yeah, it's like shifting our mindset from, more is better to better is better.
Totally.
Right? Choosing quality over quantity, investing in items that'll last a lifetime,
Exactly.
rather than ending up in a landfill a few months later.
Right. And when it comes to storage solutions, that means choosing durable, well-made items from sustainable materials.
Okay.
Things that are built to last can be passed down,
Yeah.
not, flimsy plastic bins that fall apart after a couple uses.
Right. It's about making choices that align with our values, for personal well-being and for the health of the planet.
It is.
It's so interesting to think about how something as simple as storage can be connected to these larger ideas about sustainability and conscious consumption.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that even the smallest choices we make can have a ripple effect.
That's a good point. So we've talked about trends. We've explored some standout products.
Yeah.
We've delved into the psychology and sustainability of storage.
Right.
But I'm curious, from your perspective, what are some key things to consider when choosing storage solutions?
Well, the first thing is to really assess your needs.
Okay.
What are you trying to organize?
Sure.
How much space do you have? What kind of aesthetic are you going for?
Right, because there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Right? Exactly what works for one person might not work for another.
Right.
And once you have a good understanding of your needs,
Okay.
you can start thinking about the different types of storage solutions available. Do you need shelves, drawers, boxes, baskets?
Yeah.
What materials do you prefer? Do you want something open and visible or more concealed?
That's a good point. And this is where those trends we talked about come into play, right?
Exactly.
If you're drawn to that boho chic aesthetic, you might go for woven baskets, macrame wall hangings.
Right.
If you're a craft enthusiast, you need specialized storage solutions that cater to your hobbies.
Right.
If you love that vintage vibe, you might seek out antique pieces.
Yeah. Pieces with a history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's about finding a style that speaks to you, reflects your personality.
It is.
But beyond aesthetics, we also have to think about functionality.
Yes.
Choosing pieces that are durable, easy to clean, fit comfortably in the space.
Right. And don't forget about accessibility.
Oh, that's a good point.
You want to be able to easily get to the items you need without having to dig through piles of stuff.
That's true. Organization is all about creating systems that make your life easier, not more complicated.
Exactly.
So think about how you use the items. Design a system that makes sense for your workflow.
Makes sense.
This has been so helpful.
Good.
I feel like I have a much better understanding of how to approach organization and storage in a more thoughtful and intentional way.
That's great.
It's not just about shoving things in a drawer and hoping for the best.
Right.
It's about creating a system that works for you and reflects your style and values.
It is.
It's amazing how something as simple as storage can say so much about us. Our personality, our values, even our aspirations.
It's true.
We've seen such a diverse range of solutions today.
Yeah.
From those bohemian macrame hangings
Right.
to those sleek, modern record player stands.
Yeah.
It really shows how there's no one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly what matters most is finding what works best for your needs
Uh-huh.
and your aesthetic preferences.
Yeah, and that's where the fun begins,
It is.
right? It's like a puzzle.
Totally.
Figuring out how to optimize your space. Create a system that's beautiful and functional.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of organization and storage,
Okay,
I want to leave our listeners with one final thought-provoking question.
I like it.
Imagine you could design your dream storage system.
Okay,
What would it look like?
yeah.
What would you showcase?
Mm-hmm.
How would you combine functionality with style to create a space that really reflects you?
And don't forget about the feeling you want in the space.
Oh, that's a good point.
You know, do you want a sense of calm and order? A burst of creativity?
Right.
Maybe a cozy, nostalgic vibe?
Yeah, let your imagination run wild and just see what you come up with.
Exactly.
This has been such a fascinating exploration.
It has.
It's inspired me to take a fresh look at my own storage solutions.
Yeah.
And think about how I can create a space that's more organized and more functional, more reflective of my personal style.
That's great.
And hopefully it's given you, the listener, some new ideas and inspiration to tackle your own organization projects
I hope so.
with a sense of creativity and purpose.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of organization and storage.
Yes, thank you.
Until next time, happy organizing.